gamers, and welcome to episode 423 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for July 29th, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Not much going on with me. How about you, man? I mean,
Nothing going on. I was going to say, just this heat, trying to stay away from it.
Yeah, just trying to stay the heat, man. And, basically. I mean, I know, I keep seeing Arizona up there, man. They just been having these, like 111 and shit like that. I was like, God damn, man.
Yeah, I have no interest in living in Arizona. Dry heat my ass. That's still 115 degrees. Or
I still don't know. I mean, I actually did look it up to see why did they choose to build a city in a desert. And, it said because, even though it's hot, but it still was farm, like you can still agriculturally it was still pretty good.
Still
and
fertile soil.
I'm thinking if they knew it was gonna go to 4.1 million, would they have done that to build a city? Because wasn't it I'm not saying it happened now. I remember seeing it years ago, that like because of what's the lake they get their water from or whatever, I forget. Like sure. It wasn't filling up as fast as it was being taken. So because environmentalists were really against that and stuff. But I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess that was made for people, 4-point-something million people to be drinking, or using it, right. For that much. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, how big that city, like the population wise, how big that city like is, man. I was like, darn, yeah, a lot of people really. I mean, I heard it's a great city, though. I heard it's a great city. Like the city itself is great.
I'd love to visit it in the winter.
Yeah. I love to visit when it's like at least like the low 80s. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably read some more because I am curious to like what happened like to just stop there. It's like, hey,
that's where the cows died. Or the bulls, or whatever they had, the horses pulling their.
But that's
wagons.
What I said. I said like they sat there because and it's like, oh, we're just going to just stay here. We ain't going to California.
If they try to cross the river, they get dysentery and then they die, just like an Oregon Trail.
All right, so in sport, let's get to sports. My Orioles are still number one team in the American League.
Yeah.
And as of today, they have beaten the Yankees. They lost the series to Philly. That was a little disappointing. But they still retained their position. And they beat the Yankees 1-0. I mean, that was a pitching duel. The rookie did great against one of the best pitchers, and Garrett Cole. And we hit a walk-off in the bottom of the ninth.
Nice.
And like it was awesome. And it was Mo Gabba Day. For the people who don't know, Mo Gabba he was a kid he was sick. I forgot what he had, illness, and he died very young. I think he was like in his mid-teens maybe or early teens. And like, but he was like a big fan of the Orioles and Ravens. Like he used to see him with all the players. He'd come out for the games. He met a lot of players like and Adam Jones, ex-Oriole, former Oriole. He came out because they did a ceremonial pitch with the mom. The mom
that's cool.
Threw it to him, and he also became the honorary Mr. Splash. Unfortunately, he couldn't do no splashes until the damn end of the game because we couldn't get no doubles or men on base, man. The shit. Yeah. But yeah, that was cool for the fans who were out there. They got to see Adam Jones and stuff like that. Yeah, he was all dressed up. He had the like floaty, like a flamingo float around and stuff like that. Yeah, it was cool to see him, man. I was like, that's nice. Like, yeah, he still stays in touch with Baltimore. Like he's still with the community and everything. Cause I seen him take at Ravens games too. Like that was cool. It was a cool moment. And like now we got 2 games that are gonna be on national TV. We got one tonight at Fox, and then tomorrow ESPN. So nice. hopefully we sweep the Yankees now. I was like, we gotta win. I want to beat those Yankees on national TV. Yeah, so that's really it. I mean, football. They start in training camp. It's it's August, man. It's like it's already gonna be preseason football soon. Mm-hmm. And football is almost here. Damn. I mean, I'm happy because that means cooler months are coming. But yeah, it just seemed like, damn, this summer.
Yep.
I wanted to go faster. That's the thing. It's going fast, but I wanted to go faster because I want to get out of this fucking heat. It was. I mean, there was other stuff that happened. Oh yeah, we got the World Cup happening. The only thing I remember was the women's tied against the Netherlands. That's the last thing I had saw. Well, I didn't watch the game. That's I saw.
Do you know where that's happening?
No, not top of my head, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I know my sister's been keeping up with it. She's been watching it. And yeah, so that's really it. So what's going on in wrestling?
Nothing too much over what I talked about last week. SummerSlam is actually next weekend, so it's still kind of just building up to that. But the biggest story is still...
Oh, it's not this weekend? Oh,
nah. Yeah, it's next Saturday. So a week from today when we're recording this.
And you said it's in where is it again?
Detroit,
yeah, because it was Ford Field.
Yep. Yeah, so that should be good. I'm looking forward.
Is Mr. Ford is one of Mr. Ford's sons or daughters who are going to come there and represent?
I'm sure family? They're going to be in the skybox, Dominic. With I would say with Vince McMahon, but apparently he had like major spine surgery in the last couple of days. So,
oh man,
yeah, that man is a.
You can't do some things you just can't do in the bedroom anymore. You gotta accept it.
That's why he got his spine replaced with like a titanium one or something, so he could do those things down. This 23-year-old said he finds. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of wrestling for now. Just kind of building up to that. So not much to talk about.
So let's get into what we've been watching. So you go ahead. You can continue.
Yeah, so I watched Twisted Metal, the new Peacock series starring Anthony Mackie and Samoa Joe as the body of the driver of Sweet Tooth.
It's like Will Arnett is talking for him, right?
And Will Arnett is talking for him. That seems fine. Like I think Samoa Joe would have been fine doing the talking himself, but it works perfectly fine. He's got a mask that doesn't move.
Will Arnett should commit and just get fatter for the role. Like a real actor.
He should do the full Christian Bale and just transform his body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a series that it feels like seeing all the trailers and stuff, it just looked dumb. And it's a series that I think is aware of how dumb it is. And so far, like an episode and probably like a half or so, maybe a little further into the second episode is where I'm at now. And it's been fun. I haven't hated watching it. I don't think it's awful. I think I might even be willing to say like it's worth checking out. I definitely am going to continue watching it so far. And
man, might as well.
I'd like to see more of, the Twisted Metal characters show up in there. I mean, obviously Sweet Tooth is kind of the main, the mascot of that game, but I remember those other characters kind of being somewhat memorable, just for like how silly they are. Like I would love to see someone be Axel in that show and just have like a man attached to tires. That would be dumb. Also, Thomas Hayden Church is in there, the guy that played Sandman in the old Spider-Man movies. He's like a cop. And
Sideways.
Oh, yes, and also in Sideways.
I mean, didn't he win an award or get nominated?
I think he did.
For that?
Yeah.
But you remember, I didn't
Spider-Man. Like Sideways, Dominic. I'm just saying.
I didn't like Sideways either. But I respect. I know it was people tell me it was a great movie, won an award, so I respect it. I don't respect Spider-Man 3.
How dare you? Respect him for his performance in No Way Home, where he wasn't on set a single day. So, yeah, I think it's fun so far. So I'm gonna continue watching. I'll definitely be talking about that in the future. So, what have you been watching, Dominic?
So I finally see the movie Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And it was great. I saw it in IMAX. Of course, not in IMAX 7mm. Because the closest place is like 2 hours away.
That's just so sad.
Yeah. That's like back in the Maryland Science Center just upgrade, man, and damn upgrade their goddamn seats too.
Definitely their seats, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, man. The movie was great. The movie was great. The sound was great. The visuals, the actors. The actors were great. It is so many actors, man. You're gonna see so many people in here that you just like, oh, I know them from that. I know from that. Mm-hmm. And even some of his regulars, Nolan, who seems to have always in his films, like maybe some of those actors probably missed like one of his films, but it seemed like because I was thinking like, is Tom Hardy going to make a showing in this? But nah, he didn't.
What?
Yeah.
Now I'm disappointed. He kind of built up to that, and then like, oh man.
Yeah. I was. I
As
was
it
like,
turns out, he was just in the background of the explosion.
Oh no! Or maybe he was Einstein. I don't know. Side stop. But yeah, the movie was the movie. I mean, it was a good movie, man. And like with the music and stuff, and the music, I usually like the music with Christopher Nolan movies because it's someone different this time. Well, the same person who did Tenet did this one. Oh, okay. The other ones were done by Hans Zimmer. But with this one, because this guy, like, he kind of is so weird because it kind of speeds up. Like the music kind of speeds up. It feels like it's out of tune, but it's still in tune. It's like it's something different. And I was like in the scene, and because I watched the scene, and it goes with the scenes. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it was a great movie. My sister, well, she's the only one of us in the family that seen both Barbie and Oppenheimer.
She saw the Barbenheimer.
She's Barbenheimer, yeah, Barbenheimer. And she did like Barbie. She said it was pretty good. It's definitely probably like a woman empowerment thing. For good for the girls. Like say, go white girls. But it's like that. There's a black Barbie in there. So whatever. But anyways, stop. But yeah, she said she liked it. She said it was okay movie. She said it probably wasn't worth me to go out to see it. But that is
because she knows how much you hate the women.
Yeah. No, but she said it was a good movie, and I said, yeah, I guess when it comes out on demand or whatever, I'll watch it because I do want to see it. I mean, because I heard good things. I heard it's pretty funny and stuff, you know.
So you're not going to travel 2 hours to see that in 7mm IMAX?
I don't think that was made in 7mm. I don't think
the sequel will be though.
And the thing is, was it even shot in IMAX?
Nah, I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because, well, put it like this: if it was, it lost money because Oppenheimer has just been showing, and like, I think because even Haunted Mansion, but I don't think that was shot in IMAX. But they said there's some showings in IMAX.
Oh, is that out now?
Mansion, yeah, that came out this weekend.
Oh.
Well, is it the Haunted Mansion? Because I think that's the difference. So before you won't get confused with the Eddie Murphy one,
right? I had heard that was a thing that was happening, but I didn't realize that it was anywhere near out until I saw like a posting
it got
about
bad
the trailer.
Reviews. And I'm like, I guess it's really like, what's worse? I think somebody said they think this is worse. And I don't think I saw all the Eddie Murphy one because I think even back then, yeah, it came out 10 years ago. Like
they're celebrating the anniversary.
I think even then I knew that was kind of like, is this like a Pluto Nash kind of situation with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Because I didn't think. I mean, I think it was better than Pluto Nash, but actually, I don't know. But I don't know because I didn't see it. But yeah, Oppenheimer. I definitely recommend it for people to see it. It's pretty good. There's no gore or nothing in it, so you don't have to worry about that. You won't see anybody get blown up by atomic bomb.
I'm just going to be emotionally blown apart, aren't I, Dominic?
Yes, you are.
It's awesome. If they come back off a writer's strike, will this movie win a whole bunch of awards?
Oh, yeah. I guess they'll just give it to them. I mean, there probably won't be no actors at those award shows. Hey, yeah. They can let just regular people watch.
Send me screeners.
Hey, let Will Smith go back for the Golden Globes. But What was I about to say? Oh, a lot of boomers. A lot of boomers were watching this. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, all these people who lived it. All these people who lived it. It's like they ain't that old. It's like, well, maybe it was a couple. Maybe it was a couple. I know one lady
all these
was
people's whose parents watched this happen in real time and then had sex.
yeah. I said, oh, so this is why I was born. But yeah, great movie. So I guess we get into what we were playing. So you can start off.
Yeah, just more Zelda this week, so I don't really have anything to talk about. Just still kind of making my way through that. So, what have you been playing, Dominic?
All right. So I played some more Avengers. So I finally finished all the campaigns. There's only 3 of them besides the original one. You got the Kate Bishop one. You got the Hawkeye one, and then you have Black Panther. Right. So the Kate Bishop was, they're okay. They were okay. I think I enjoyed the Hawkeye one more because of the whole going to the past thing. Mm-hmm. But it's like it could have been better. Like these things could have been more developed. I mean, we already know the problems with the game. Like it feels like it could have been more to this and more variety. That's the thing. Like they do the cop out thing of like, oh, AIM was still, their AIM robots are still around, like around now, and like you're just fighting the same robots and just a little bit stronger. It should have been more variety in what missions. That's a disappointment. Like the story seemed like it was okay, even though I never felt a good ending. Like I never felt like it was a conclusion to it. So I have to go look up. It's like, did I miss something? Because to the overall arc of the story, I guess technically maybe it is supposed to be a real conclusion because they want you to keep playing. And maybe eventually, if the game was doing well, they would have done something like a Destiny and put something to continue. But I guess because it didn't, they didn't have it. Like, so I guess they wanted to make sense why you're still fighting AIM. But I was like, you don't have to do that. People, if they like the game, just play it. I really wanted to finish the story. Black Panther story was good.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. I liked it. I mean, his character. I mean, playing with his character was all right too. Actually, I had to get used to Hawkeye. He was all right. I think I liked playing with Kate Bishop more. I just wasn't. Because they have different movesets. So, I mean, I do appreciate that. It wasn't just like, because I was really thinking, like, man, they probably got the same fucking movesets, man.
Just a reskin, yeah.
But, no, they don't. I think I like Kate Bishop more because she has teleportation. I forgot about Hawkeye's special ability. Oh, Hawkeye's special is like the aim, like, and I think everybody can have an easier aim or auto aim or something that happens on a special. I played someone with Winter Soldier. He doesn't have a campaign. He has a little story bit. Like if you go touch Black Widow's what is it, music box or something. It starts off like a little cutscene, and you gotta do these little missions. You might have to see the missions. They're like you just playing the regular game, but if you beat up these certain kind of bots, you'll get these. Like some type of information from them. So like it's like, hey, kill like 10 sentry bots so you can get this and something like that to help continue the story. So that's the sucky part. I was like, yeah, darn, I wish they could have done more with that. But I don't really like playing with Winter Soldier. Man, the shooting, like the gun stuff is all right, but yeah, I wasn't really feeling his specials. I'm just not used to him because. Well, thing is, they didn't really give me a harm room for him. I don't unless there's a glitch or something. Like everybody else has a harm. Even Black Panther has a harm room, but Winter Soldier and I don't know. Maybe Lady Thor doesn't have that either. They don't have where it can train me to show like what their specials are and stuff, so I can know what to do. I just kind of had to figure it out playing it, and but I haven't got a chance to play Lady Thor. Maybe I might get a chance before they take it off at Game Pass. I don't know, but the game, it's yeah, I mean, it's something. It's like some reason I like enjoying it because I do like just mindless action. Like, I mean, I like Dynasty Warriors, so I do like that bit. I just wish it was just more story with this game, man. That's the only problem. Like, it's just, yeah, it gets stale because it's not much to do. Like it gets stale pretty fast. But I'm glad I got it. I did enough to do everything, so I can just say, hey, I've done the campaigns at least.
Yeah.
I played some Judgment. Not much to say there. I've been playing a lot of Marvel Snap. On Marvel Snap, I did finally get High Evolutionary. So, and I did build the most basic High Evolutionary deck I can build because I don't have all the cards. And I suck. Because I just run against guys who I can't destroy them as I've been destroyed, unfortunately. But I mean, I think it's just luck of the draw. I won, yeah, but some games I dominated, and then some games I couldn't do anything. I mean, but like I said, this is a Pacific High Evolutionary thing. Like, I got the High Evolutionary card, but the decks I've been going against, they had different card. They had some different cards that helped them more than I got. Like, I just got the basic stuff, but I don't really have any. Like, basically, if somebody has a certain card to stop me or whatever, I'm pretty much done. Unless like I get lucky with if like one of the locations have something for me or whatever. So yeah, so it's like, oh, I'm still gotta get some more cards. Like, the one I really want, I want Hitmonkey. Like, there's a Hitmonkey deck that's pretty good that I look like it'll be fun for me to keep playing with. Mm-hmm. And that's what I really want. And I don't know if he's series 3 or 4 or 5. Cause I'm like, damn, man, it's gotta be a way I can get that. But I guess I have to save up those freaking arrows and because that I rarely even get. But I've been playing mainly with Dino Wong, like I mentioned last week, and it's called Dino Wong deck, and then my Jubilee deck, I call it, because the Dino Wong is the one where I told you it lets you do reveals multiple times, and but like if I get it set up, I'm almost like, yes, I have a higher chance of winning, but you can counter it because I had to put Dino Wong. Well, his name not Dino Wong. That's my deck name. You have to put Wong down first, and thing is, so they know I'm going to probably put some reveal stuff there, so I can double. So what I have to do, so if they have something to counter that with Cosmos stops reveals. So you put Cosmos there, it's like, damn, I can't do it. Unless I can destroy Cosmos or turn him off, which I don't have anything that can do that. Or if they put Enchantress, which will stop Wong. So my reveals will work, but it won't be twice. And it'll mess up my setup. So there's counter to that. So I mean, I'm fine with that. Because you're not going to have everybody who's going to have Cosmos. So, or even some people probably just don't know when to use it. Then, and my backup is the dinosaur. That's the dino part where, hey, how many cards I have in my hand, that's how much the dinosaur will have. Maybe, and hopefully I can have one already where I can put the dinosaur in another location, right. And then I still because that's the number 5 card, and I'll still have a 6 card, which I can see where I want to put it on a 6 turn. But you can count that sometimes because sometimes people get Iceman and it might hit a random card where it'll make my Dino on number 6 or my Wong be number 5, and that kind of mess things up. So yeah, fuck you, Iceman. Even though I use it too. I have that card. In my Jubilee deck, really it's it's pretty basic, but every now and then I'll want to do something where I have Storm, and when you put Storm down, she destroys the location, and then the next turn is the last turn is where you can play cards at that location. So I try to set up where I have Storm, then I'll put either Jessica Jones, because Jessica Jones, even though she's only 4 power, is that if you don't play a card at that location again, she'll double, and so then she'll be 8. And then that'll probably be enough, because maybe he don't have a card on his side that's high enough, and he can't play any more cards there. Yeah. So I might, it's not a guaranteed win, because there's still ways to get points over there too, still, because there's other cards that say, hey, they transfer some points to location. So it's not a win, and I'm taking a chance, because I don't know, he might have a card where then either he counters that, like where it stops it, or he'll have it where a card will grow to be stronger, where I can't put nothing there either. So it sucks. Or I put Jubilee, because Jubilee is when she's only 1 power, but she takes a card from your deck. And hopefully it's my strongest card, which is Infonaut, which is a card, like it's 20 power by itself, but you will have to skip the 5th turn. Oh, well, put it like this. You have to skip a turn before you use it. Because there might be a chance you get your 6 cards will be lower because of whatever's on the board. Because sometimes the board say, hey, you draw a 6 card now. Or it says like, oh, hey, your 6 cards cost 0 or something like that. So I'm hoping that it's in my deck and that she pulls that. And I'm like, yeah, that's almost a guarantee win, because it stops that. And so now I can just focus my next turns on the other 2. And yeah, so I mainly play with those 2 decks. Those 2 decks I do every now and then. If there's something where it says to get extra credit, credits, I use them to upgrade my cards. And they have missions every they have daily missions that happen every so many hours or so, and weekly missions. Sometimes the missions say, hey, if you destroy this many cards, you'll get some credits. So I might get a destroy deck, and I don't care about winning. And I'll just be like, hey, I'm just going to destroy, whatever. Sometimes, yeah, because sometimes I'm just trying to get some new cards. And I'm just just win a location. So I just try to win. I try to make sure, I'm definitely going to win this location. I don't care about other locations. And I wish I could tell the other people that too, because some people are doing the stuff saying I'm confident I'm going to win. I say, yo, I'm not trying to win. I'm not trying. You don't need to think too hard. I just want this location right here. I wish you could type that. Say, look, you can win this game. Have this. Yeah, let me have this location. No, you can, but you can just focus on them too. I'll make sure not to do anything to make you lose. So I didn't need to win this location. But you can't really communicate that. And because one time I wasn't even trying to win, and this game went on forever because it was Conquest, because it deals with taking off your health, so you go through rounds. So you have to get it's actually 10 health points, I think. So you get rid of 10 is over. So the most you can really lose in one round is 8 though, because both people snapped at a certain point of the game, and then it's maximum points. The max points to take away is 8. So I was but it's I didn't really care to snap, because I was I gotta win location, so sometimes I'm not gonna win a certain amount of locations. So I want to keep playing, but I didn't realize it was going I was winning without even trying, really. I mean, because like I said, it's a game of chance. So, and then I'm still trying to win a specific location, so I have to watch out for him too. So it and then it just kept going long. I said, damn, this thing going long, because nobody, because he's not snapping to take more points. So when I lose, I'm only losing 1 or maybe 2 blocks. And then when I win, I'm not snapping to take off more of his blocks, because I'm just trying to play as much to win the location, but I also didn't expect to play that long either. So at one point I just got snapping. So I want this game to be over with, because I already done my mission. So I just want to be over with. But he kept retreating and stuff. He at some point I was like, oh god damn it. He said he would retreat because he thinks I'm probably going to win, which I was. I mean, because I'm still going to try to win. But I was like, I'm just hoping if he beats me, the game be over. But nah, it just took for fucking forever. And I don't know if I won or lost. I don't even remember that match. I don't even remember. But that was crazy. And then before this podcast, I was playing a tough one, like with this dude, because he kept countering I had Dino Wong deck, and he kept countering that deck a lot. But some ways. But I guess he still didn't trust himself to snap sometimes, so I don't lose much. And then some of the things I win, it's because he just knows he can't do anything, and he retreats. So before he can use the max amount of cubes, but he has a card which is what's his name? What's the guy's name? What's the name that the new bad supposed to be in Marvel?
Kang.
Yeah, Kang. He has Kang, which is Kang. You play him, you can see what the player. You can rewind the move. So he plays him usually on the last move to see what I'll do, and then he'll know what to do. And and it's good for him because he'll see something that he can't stop, and then he'll just retreat. So I can't get the max amount. He'll loses, but he doesn't lose as much. And then he'll see, like one time I had to play off because like I said, oh man, he saw I'm going to do this, and I think I know how he can counter it. So I tried to do something different, and I think that one time it didn't work out. I still lost, and I think one time I changed something, and I probably shouldn't have. I probably just stay with what I was about to do. Sometimes I do. Like, I mean, when sometimes he's doing it, I say I'm just gonna play this again because I ain't got nothing else. So. Well, do what you do. It's like if you got a card to beat it, go ahead, man. Whatever. Sometimes he didn't, sometimes he did. But we went all the way through, and I think he won at the end. Yeah, I think he won at the end. But yeah, I mean, some guys are cool. They be saying like the things like they do the fist bumps and stuff. Like say good game and stuff. Even when they lose, like I like those guys. I usually do that too. I don't know. I don't know if the people are like being a little cheeky when they put in Marvel Girl though, because I don't know about her expression. I don't know what that expression means, and I'm thinking like, what's that? I don't like that, and I wish there was some expression to say, basically "f you," but in a nice way. But
you
like,
gotta pay for that expression though.
Yeah, I want something to say, something like, "Hey, I don't like you" or something like that. But yeah, the Marvel Snap, man. Yeah, pretty much getting addicted to it, man. Like I just can't put it down. But I haven't put any money to it, so
there you
it's
go.
Been playing a ton.
You truly are winning, dog.
Yes, I'm winning. The last game I played, Exoprimal. I played a lot of that.
Ooh.
This game was a $70 game, right?
I believe so.
All right, Daniel. This is I'm glad our flashback segment's pretty short because this is going pretty long, because like this game I'm enjoying it when I'm playing it. Like for when I'm playing, I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a lot there. Like okay, like the modes is there's only 2 modes. There's a mode where
it's only a $60 game, so it's much better, right?
Yeah, I mean that's still full price because I consider $70 games extra. I mean more. I mean they cost too much. That's why I consider. I say it's a $6 game, $10 more. That's what I said. It's like basically, I said they're overcharging. That's what I feel. That's what I feel like. I feel like the $70 games overcharged. But yeah, it's like there's 2 modes. It's the co-op mode, which you're still technically playing against the other team. You just gotta do the missions faster than them. Like, so it's still PvP, which like I agree with some people who are kind of upset with that. It's like, wait a minute, why can't it just be co-op without the whole playing against them? But I mean, I usually don't care because I don't care when, because you level up anyway. How you do, and apparently every time I've played, I've been in the top for something because I'm mostly a healer, and I'm always the best healer from both teams apparently. Or it could be sometimes the healers are there are no heroes on the team. so I always get that. But I've been MVP a few times but MVP's by points. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna get kills because I don't have the weapon to kill. I usually have the weapon to stun. Occasionally, I get some kills though because on dinosaurs because I got that one beam weapon that does something, but it has a charge, and you can kill the little raptors are pretty easy. But then the other mode is the same as this one, the co-opness, and you still you're playing against the other guys, but at the end is where you have like the payload. That's what where I was looking for last time I was talking about the game. The payload, that's where it is like from Overwatch. Both teams have payloads this time, so it's not one where you have a payload and they trying to stop you. Both teams have payloads, and you're trying to get your payload faster than the other team, and you can still stop them. So some people can probably go over there just disrupt them, or get a dinosaur, take over a dinosaur and go over there and smash them up or something before they can, or like you can damage the payload where they have to repair it or something like that. I mean, it's fun, but those are the only two modes, and this is a full game. And I'm just thinking about games from the past that I played, like Gears, Gears, Call of Duty, Halo. They have campaigns,
right?
And they have multiplayer. And the basic, and before I even get to when they started getting better with the multiplayer, like Gears is the first game. It had the basic multiplayer stuff in there, but it had a whole full campaign, and great game. I think it was worth the price it was. I think at the time $60. I think it was still, or $50. I forget. And then the other Gears, they're the same freaking price, but more. They have the game, they have the regular multiplayer, then they add a little bit more modes of multiplayer, then they have Horde. And then that's a lot of game. Halo, they added more. They had multiplayer, like basic multiplayer when they two. Well, one, I mean you count one, but it wasn't online. But with two, but then they added more, they started the multiplayer started being more modes, and then you still had a campaign. And Call of Duty, you got the campaign, and then you still have the multiplayer, a lot of modes in multiplayer, different multiplayer, and then they had the co-op stuff that happened, and now they got zombies. I mean, to do zombies, which is that. That's a lot of game there. Then they had some other freaking mode. I remember in Call of Duty 3, I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was something else. And I don't know if it was worth playing or not, but I was like, it's a lot of game. This game, what I just said, this is all you can do. For a full price game? Why this shit ain't free to play? This game should have been a free to play game or very cheap. Game Pass, this makes sense for Game Pass. This makes total sense. It makes sense that, yes, I will play this on game. This is the Game Pass game. It's free-ish. Yeah. It's so what's not much game. I mean, this is the game, and that's fine. But if you don't have Game Pass, or you have a PlayStation or just a PC, I don't know how you justify paying the full price for this game at all.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Because you still got loot boxes. You still got all that stuff, man. For a full price game. At least, Overwatch. Now, for the PC version, it wasn't even full price, the PC version. I think the console version, because they added the loot box stuff, I think it was $50 and not, I don't think it was a full $60 though. I think it was $50 maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think and because it gave you some more loot boxes or credits or something.
Yeah, something if you paid $60 or something.
Yeah, but that was the only one you can get though on console. They didn't give you a regular version like PC. So at least I'll give that. Overwatch is okay, yeah, and it didn't have much there. I mean, it grew more. But at the time, they had enough modes for multiplayer, but it wasn't a full price game. Mm-hmm. They didn't give a full price for that. They probably could have maybe they could have got away with it. They probably could have. I don't know how Exoprimal gets away with this. Like, this is ridiculous that this is all the game there is. It's a fine game for what it is, but for $60, you gotta be kidding me.
I think that might be the secret, right? Is like they designed this kind of with a release on Game Pass in mind, effectively making it a free-to-play game. And then they're like, well, just get bonus sales off of like maybe the positive word of mouth from Game Pass players on the other systems.
Yeah. It's that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you said it's $60. It's not $70 on PlayStation. It's $60 there
it's
too?
$60 for the PS5, PS4 version.
PS5. Okay. Yeah. I am surprised that it actually is the older version because I did download it to be on the console just in case it was taking too long to get on Xbox Game Pass. Now, Xbox Game Pass recently, they have times like at the prime time hours where it takes, I think the longest it took me was 10 minutes to get to a game. Sometimes it'd be 5 minutes and 3 minutes. It's like, come on, get those servers, Xbox. Get those servers going, man. Yeah, come on, man. There are whole islands out there that you could just make a city of servers. Just do that. Or like relocate somebody from one of those small islands. Say we relocate you and we're gonna make the server island. Jesus. Just because I don't want this weight stuff, man. Because I can just go to Nvidia. At least it runs better. That I mean, it hasn't been too bad because, like, thank God for Marvel Snap. Because I'd be playing that when I'd be waiting if I was trying to wait to play like some baseball or something. Or I mean, some games you can download because they can be on console, but some games are just Xbox Series X. But I don't. Yeah, but yeah, is this a difference? Like Exoprimal, the load times are longer. Like I noticed, and the the graphics of course are not as good, but it's fine. Like it's not horrible. Like graphically, it's not horrible on the Xbox One. But baseball is horrible. It's horrible because, but first of all, the game it should look better than what it is anyway on these new consoles. But damn, like they did
like
optimization.
The Switch version.
The optimization is hard because if they really truly wanted to optimize it to really work with the Xbox, they could have, or the PlayStation 3, 4, they could have done that. But they just probably said, "Fuck it, it ain't working."
That might be exactly it.
And they said we're just gonna put this game out here. And I started thinking about my friend. And I was like, "Damn, he be playing like." I said, "You know what? That's when ignorance is bliss. You don't know what you're missing."
Right. Exactly.
Because he never even played it before it came to Xbox. So he doesn't know that it was playing better on a damn PS4 before it became multi-platform and the new systems came out. Mainly the new consoles. That's really was that's the problem. The higher power consoles. Before that, this game didn't run that bad. It didn't run this bad to be played. And it don't look that different. Like, sorry, the game looks like an up-resed and version of what I played from the I ain't said 2014, but probably 15, 16, 17, all of them. They're like up-res versions of those games. They don't look that much better than those games. So it doesn't make sense that it doesn't run on their last gen systems. It doesn't look, it runs faster. And maybe somebody probably say it does look a little bit better technically, but like my eyes are not seeing it. So yeah, that's really why I choose to play that through the xCloud, because it just runs so bad. Because that even works, my timing be off. Even because I've been playing on the xCloud, where it runs smooth everything. When I played on the Xbox One, it like I gotta adjust my timing now, like when throwing my pitches or when I bat, because sometimes I think I'll be swinging either early or something. I say, oh shit, I gotta wait a little longer, because it's just it's running at like it's less than 30 frames, yo. This ain't 30 frames.
Jeez.
Or I think it fluctuates. Put it like that. And like at some points, it looks like it's running good. I said, oh look, it looks really good. Probably something going on, but then stuff start going on, and numbers start happening. That's when it'd be like, whoop, that got dip. Yeah. All right, so that's it for what we've been playing. So now, okay, because I never said that. I never said going to a segue like this. So now I'm not used to that. Okay, let's do this again. So that's it. So I guess we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to 2003 for only one game. This is gonna be a short flashback segment. I would say shortest, but that's not true because unless you count the ones we just don't do. So Mario Golf.
Yeah.
Toadstool Tour 2003 came out, and this is the one that came on the GameCube. So how was this thing?
I quite enjoyed it. I remember getting this like day one. I feel like there was some silly thing that I think I got it at Target because they had like Target exclusive course or something like that. So it's relatively vivid in my memory of getting this game. Of course, I was looking forward to it because having played the Mario Golf on the Game Boy, I was very excited about finally getting, obviously there was the 64 one, but like this was the next generation one at that time. And as it turns out, they still didn't do any of the like RPG stuff that they did on the Game Boy Color. So, still disappointment there. But I remember spending quite a bit of time with this. This, even compared to like the one that came out on the Switch, I feel like I recall this one having more personality. Like the courses had more Mario related things, whereas like this current one, it's like, oh yeah, I could just be Tiger Woods playing on half these courses and it wouldn't feel out of place. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they've really sanitized them in a lot of ways.
And that's so disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like that's why you want to play like a Mario Golf game. I mean, besides like mechanics, which I think are usually pretty good. They're more simplified than some of the more sim golf games. But
yeah, but the sim golf games nowadays, they have simplified controls. You can change them.
Yeah. But like, yeah, you don't want to just play as the character. You want to play as the character in their world.
Exactly. The whole point is that it's like real golf, like it's like putt-putt golf, but real golf at the same time. Exactly. Like the flashiness and the absurdity of like putt-putt golf and all these things, but it's like in a real golf course.
Exactly. Yeah, so for them to kind of move away from that and then add like the gameplay elements of the stuff I didn't like in the Switch one, that's whatever. Let me less about the Switch one and me not liking that as much and more about Toadstool Tour. So yeah, I have very fond memories of that game. I spent what feels like quite a bit of time playing that game when it released. So yeah, good game.
All right. So that's it for the flashback segment. So we'll go take a quick break. We'll get back and get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan? I got hold on. I got to stop my phone. My phone thought I was talking to it. I don't know what the hell. Did I say? Don't you supposed to say like Google or something? When
something
come
like
on?
that. Hey Google.
Damn. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So first up, Dominic, we got The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons have now launched on the Nintendo Online expansion pack. Those are the Capcom games on the Game Boy Color. I think both of those are fantastic, so that is definitely worth checking out if you are a fan of the more classic Zelda-style gameplay. So that's nice.
Yeah, I never played that. So it's glad that I can try that. Even though I always play these Nintendo what's it called, Daniel? What's the service called?
Online expansion pack. I mean, that's specifically for like the Game Boy and the other kind of the N64.
You know what? Nintendo needs
just Nintendo Online.
Yeah, okay.
They need better branding. They should take the Xbox Live branding. They should just call it Nintendo Live. Microsoft clearly doesn't want it anymore.
That. Yeah, and they should get help from Microsoft with that.
shouldn't get help from Microsoft for any branding anymore. They might as well be getting help from Elon Musk at that point.
No, that's what I mean. That's a joke, Daniel. I mean, their branding sucks. Starting with the one.
Yep. Exactly.
So. Yeah. But every time I do the Nintendo Online, play those games, I start. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play them, and then I never go back.
Yeah, it's kind of easy for that to happen.
But I can't prove those people wrong who say, y'all don't care about playing old games. I can't prove them right, Daniel. I can't prove them right.
Look, I've got 10 minutes in this game. I played it. I definitely went back. Yeah, because it definitely is. Like, you see these announcements and you're like, oh, man, I'm going to play some Oracle Ages. And you jump in and you start it. And, yeah. And then next thing you know, you moved on to something else. I was the same way because I actually took my Vita to work because I was going to play Oracle Ages on my break. And then I did it for like the first 2 days. And then after that, I was like, whatever. So, all right, Dominic, in some other news, Futurama is back. And we've got 3 characters from that show joining Fortnite. You got Bender, Leah, and Fry. They are all coming to Fortnite to shoot up the place. I think that's fun. The video I saw of them, they look really good, even in 3D, because sometimes, those characters don't.
So does he have like a soccer ball with him, Messi?
I haven't talked about that yet.
Oh, shit, my fault. Oh.
I was just talking about the Futurama stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if he's probably got like a gun charm or something, right? But yeah, so also competitor to that, Call of Duty, Warzone is getting Nicki Minaj, who is the first female operator that is not a made-up character. Snoop, Messier, and Kevin Durant.
I disagree. I will argue that she's not a made-up character.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I see where you're going for that. I'm trying to say she does not live her life that way, Dominic. What do you say?
Oh no, I'm just joking. No, Nicki Minaj, she's fine. She got a nice booty. All right, go ahead.
So yeah, if you're looking to get some new characters in either one of these games, you can check them out.
Hold on, they better have a big booty on her.
I don't know that I've seen like the full character model.
Yeah, I need the full character because they give her those flat asses that they have on the other characters, man. I'm not. Nope. And Nicki Minaj should sue. She said no. But,
yeah, but you don't want that, Dominic. Yeah, it's a bigger hitbox. You gotta slim her down for the games.
Well, then you don't pick her. No, this is.
Oh, and Cardi B said, "My stupid decision from the past caused me to miss out on money. Now I had a multi-million-dollar Call of Duty deal on the table that I could not take because of court. Guys, think twice about those quick decisions. Lesson learned." See, could have been her. Could have been Cardi B, Dominic. Oh, also Lara Croft. I knew there was one that I was missing. Lara Croft is also being added to Call of Duty.
Okay, did you say so? The Call of Duty. Okay, so who's joining Call of Duty?
Call of Duty is Lara Croft, Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, Messi, and Kevin Durant.
And they're in Fortnite.
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Only Futurama is in Fortnite.
Oh,
yeah.
So okay, all right. I was thinking. Oh, my fault. Then okay, that's what I was wondering. I was like, that doesn't even make any sense. That she was the first real character in Fortnite. There was somebody else.
Yeah.
I said there was another woman in Fortnite.
How dare you? Yeah.
I don't remember all the characters. I mean, you could have said it was Whitney Houston in there, and I was like, yeah.
She might be. No, that's gonna be the anniversary.
Oh, so Snoop. Yeah. Okay. So they're in Call of Duty. Now, are they? They're just. Is this? This isn't zombie mode. This is you can just be these characters in the game Warzone.
Yeah, if you pay for them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. I see. I didn't know that. I didn't know Call of Duty did that.
Yeah, they previously had characters like in Warzone 1 they had the guy from Die Hard. John Die Hard.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah, Bruce Willis, but as the character from Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah.
They also, I want to say Sylvester Stallone, maybe, but they've had a couple of people.
To be honest, I did not really pay attention to Warzone.
Yeah,
I played it twice.
We don't really talk about them much. The only reason I mention these is because I also had the Futurama stuff for Fortnite on there, and I thought like the addition of Nicki Minaj was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I thought these was like, because I was very confused. He had Call of Duty back here. I was like, wait a minute. So who's part of? It's like who's in Fortnite and who's in Call of Duty? I was thinking like both. They're in both. Okay, so I mean, and Kevin Durant, good God, yeah, he's in Call of Duty. Yep. Oh man, shooting guns.
Must be nice. Yep. All right, Dominic. Next up, CD Projekt Red is laying off basically around 100 people. That's going to be about 9% of their staff.
Oh, damn.
They basically said we're overloaded.
Hold up, staff. What did the staff do?
I mean, are you saying like staff versus like what we would consider developers?
Yeah, cause that's because every time.
Well, I say
when people say lay off,
but like,
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, it's good or bad. I mean, something. I'm just saying. Well, it's bad for them, but be bad for
when
people
I
who got
write
laid
staff,
off.
though, I'm not distinguishing between developers and someone who might be doing a different job.
I know you're not. I just want to know. Yeah, I just was curious because because people saying like, oh, the staff got let go, but then it was like sometimes it'd be like it was no developers when I read it. And it's like, I mean, this is sad news, but this ain't what we play for. It's like this is not what I play the game when I'm always mostly thinking about the developers. I mean, this like I mean, not saying news. I just look at it differently. I'm sorry, I look at it differently. Sure. So I mean, like. So like they lay off the staff. Do they get specific of who they laid off?
Let's see. We want team members to have ample time. They're kind of rolling it out across the rest of the year. It sounds like due to what they describe as overstaffing, despite several projects in development, including games related to The Witcher, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, overstaffing. Like, I wonder what that actual job was.
I mean, see, if they're considering it like overstaffing, I almost feel like it is mostly developer related because you do build up these teams in a way that maybe you don't necessarily build up the staff. Now, Where is CD Projekt Red with like GOG, right? Because aren't they behind that?
Yeah, they're behind GOG, yeah.
But you hear people talk about GOG because obviously still it's one of the few places that you like can legally buy stuff that is also DRM free. But at the same time, I wonder how much money they're actually making off of that, and I could see definitely like a portion of their, their layoffs coming from like that sector or something like that, right? Where it's like, okay, we thought this was going to be bigger than it is. Now you have Epic in here. They're kind of taking some of the mind share from us, something like that. It's just one of those things.
The Witcher show broke him.
What's
the Witcher
that?
show. The Witcher show. The Netflix, it broke him.
Yep. One of this 9%, Dominic, is Henry Cavill, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird though, because like if we are talking about developers, right? Like we've talked about this stuff in the past a lot. But like you look at Hollywood and you don't hear about like how this person was laid off or that person was laid off, because like everybody's kind of a contract worker, and it makes you wonder if the games industry would be better off unionized and, like basically each person was their own contractor working for a different, you can switch between projects, right? Like, okay, yes. I'm finishing up with my design, because again, it does make sense that there are like ebbs and flows through these cycles, right? Where it's like, okay, we need concept artists at the beginning of the game, but you don't necessarily need them at the end of the game. So
yeah. And
does it make
how
sense?
fast are you develop? Like, how many games are you developing? And like,
right.
because or what type of game you're developing, you probably won't either need a bigger staff, you might need a bigger staff, or you might don't need as big a staff. And like you just have these people on your payroll. It's like, oh, well, you're not doing nothing with them. Yeah, I definitely see what you mean.
Because it also it almost makes you wonder, like, if those people are like in that mindset, where it's
those projects. Because you know what? Yeah, video games. I mean, the way that they're done, it is kind of like that, isn't it? Like movies and TV shows, and because like you can't, like, people on the TV, like, they don't. I mean, they have to find another show when it gets either canceled or the season's over. Like, maybe
right,
the
you don't
series
just
is
continue
over.
to work for NBC or something, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it makes me wonder, if it would make more sense for the industry to kind of be that way. But I don't know how you would get to that point outside of like these small unions starting to kind of crop up and then like maybe become a bigger union. And then at a certain point, those unions basically negotiate with these, with these developers and say like, hey, we think it's better to go this route. I don't know that I could foresee that, but I don't know, how Hollywood started versus how it is now. I mean, honestly, I don't even know how it really is now, but from what I see and my perception of it is that's how it kind of seems like it is, with each person being a part of the larger union, but working independent of the actual company itself, so they can kind of freelance and go in between projects as they feel comfortable to.
Yeah, because I almost now, because you talk about this, it changes my worldview on this thing now. Because I guess I should never look at it as like, oh, this guy. Well, she said, oh, they did layoffs somewhere. I mean, like I said, that's why I want to know specifically where they lay off. Like, I shouldn't just think like, oh, the developer just gonna be there forever. Like that's a job they're gonna have forever. Like someone working at like people who work at mine shafts or something. But like miners or something like that. Like that. This a job, and then I'm gonna retire. Like, I guess. I mean, I never really thought about it, but yeah, I guess I should never look at it like that, because I had to think like, it's different projects and shit changes. It's not that type of job.
Yeah. But the unfortunate thing is, it seems like the industry is structured around it almost being treated that way, right? So like that's what's broken about it, is it shouldn't be like that. It should be a thing where people have maybe more control over their destiny than they currently do. Whereas like now it's like, oh yeah, I work for Ubisoft or I work for CD Projekt Red, and oh hey, I'm coming to the end of my contract with this game or whatever, and or rather the development of this game is coming to an end. Should I be looking for a new job? Because that's what I was starting to say, is like, I wonder if those people, like, let's say a concept artist who is, nearing the end of what they would be typically doing as part of the phase, and they don't see like another project, spinning up in the way that you would hope, you can't help but wonder if they're sitting there like, oh man, I got to go find something else, because I feel like that axe is just dangling over my neck, right? I'm just waiting. I don't want to sit here and wait till they fire me, because then I'm going to be ass out. Yeah,
and it's hard to tell people just to prepare for that. Like it's so. I mean, it's easy.
Exactly.
No, my fault. It's easy to tell people to prepare for that.
Right.
But it's hard.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, but it's harder for them
to actually do
it. Yeah. It's easy if you say, well, you should have backup plan. You should know that. I mean,
you should have 3 months worth of savings, so you can just, sit on your ass and find a new job, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people are so, those people on Twitter, man, I get all my financial information from them, man, because these people are all, like, rich, and they all living the good life. And, yeah. So, yeah, man. Yeah, that's sad, but yeah, it has to be a change. There has to be a change.
Especially, I mean, I think we talked about this a bit last week, where I was saying basically like the way game development is right now, it just doesn't make sense for you to work on a game for 5 years with the hope that it's going to work out and not necessarily have like a backup plan. But it really makes you wonder if you're working, you know, not as this gigantic bloated company, but is this company that is facilitating the combined efforts of these kind of individuals, if that would help or hurt in a way, you know. I mean, it obviously seems like it's worked for Hollywood, so
yeah, because people could, at least with the contract, you know when your contract is up, you know, or like with the project's got to be done by this time or something like that, and
that way you can also line something up.
You can line things up. That's the thing. You can line things up.
I finished up on Mortal Kombat. I'm going to roll right into Street Fighter, Dominic. I don't think there'd be a lot of crossover there, but it's worth checking out. All right. So, yeah, that is why the video game industry is broken. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Final Fantasy XIV, Dominic, the most relevant Final Fantasy game currently, of course. You know, we're not talking about any other Final Fantasy games. This is coming to Xbox Series X.
Some people
X
probably
and
still
X.
say that.
I'm sure there probably are. I mean, we're weeks out from the release of 16, so like, you know, people are probably over it at that point.
But you know what? Okay, so it's finally come out to the Xbox Series S
Spring
and X.
2024. Yeah.
Now, wasn't there a time when they said the player dropped in Final Fantasy 14? I could have sworn I saw an article where it said, "Hey, subscribers have dropped or something, some percent or something like that." And
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and I guess this is a good move on their part to get some more. It's almost like a relaunch, basically.
And they know those well.
Yeah, they've done that before. I mean, this is good, and it opens up like, okay, so Xbox have a partnership with them. Like, that's what I see a lot of people online is saying, like, hey, this can be. They say, things could get better with Xbox and Square Enix now, with so they can start getting those games on their systems, and not just have those exclusive deals with them PlayStation. And that's what. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would think. I would hope that will be the case, because you just get Final Fantasy. I mean, you do. Well, Xbox does get some Square Enix games. They just haven't got the biggest ones.
I mean, I can't help if it's just, you know, money is the motivating factor, and Sony is just willing to shell out a large enough bag of cash to.
It's race. It's racism.
I mean,
I was joking, Dang. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's race. It's full racism.
I don't know that I would consider it that, but I would not be surprised if there's like a nationality thing to it. It's one of these companies. I'm gonna help support them.
I mean, it could be national, but the money speaks. Like if Xbox would have provide more money, then it'd be like, fuck them. But yeah, I mean, that's cool. So that people can play that. And I mean, I'm not really into the subscription RPG thing. I'm more into the, hey, free to play, and if I want to spend some money, maybe. But like, I always want to try Final Fantasy 14. Because I remember a dude who I used to work with used to play it. But I just didn't want to play a subscription. I just want to make that commitment. And I think they have a trial now, I believe. For that, I mean, I think I'll be surprised if anything doesn't have a trial. That'll be amazing to me, because that'll be just dumb.
Their numbers must be incredible if they don't have a trial. That's what that says to me.
So I mean, I guess I could try it, but actually I can't, because I don't have a Series S or X. So
I wonder if it'll be available as part of game streaming.
Yeah, exactly. I would. Yeah, that's what I would hope.
Yeah, I thinking about that a little more. I wonder, like, if Square would be willing to make that deal with Microsoft, just because we know about the numbers of consoles, of Xbox consoles sold in Japan versus PlayStation's. Like, would they be willing to do
millions
that?
Millions more Xboxes in Japan.
It's like, we'll make this deal, but you got to have, You gotta ship in. You gotta drop ship some Xboxes here so people can actually buy them, and you gotta lower the price because like otherwise we're gonna be missing out a lot because people just don't have them over here to be selling the game like we needed to. So, all right, Dominic. Top story I got this week is actually the story I missed last week because it happened during Comic-Con. But it was announced that Mortal Kombat, there is, of course, a combat pack, and it seems like it's combat pack number 1, because there is also a leak about combat pack number 2, but combat pack number 1 is going to include Homelander from The Boys, Peacekeeper.
That's nice.
Peacekeeper? No, Peacemaker. Peacemaker
no,
from the Suicide
Peacemaker,
Squad
yeah.
and Peacemaker television show. John Cena is his model. That is him in there. Omni-Man from Invincible, and of course MK guys like Ermac, Quan Chi, and Takeda. I'm excited to see Ermac back in there. I always like Ermac. So.
Will Omni-Man will the voice be from what's his name?
People are speculating that it most likely will be. I'm looking it up because I'm blanking right now. J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, yeah, because I'm supposed to be watching this series on Amazon Prime.
Okay, no, it is official that he is going to be the voice. I think it was the other way around. He is official, and people are speculating that it will be John Cena as Peacemaker because that has not been officially confirmed yet.
Oh, but since it uses like this, that it would...
Yeah.
That's what people say.
And if you can get J.K. Simmons, I feel like you can get John Cena to do his voice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So.
that's the wrestler I want to do voices, not which
Not
we
Ronda
call it.
Rousey.
She was Rousey, man. She was bad with the voice, man. Damn.
I had almost forgot that was the thing. Jeez, yeah. So, yeah, that is going to be combat
At least
pack
do
number
more than one
1.
take.
Time is money, Dominic, and she costs too much. That's expected to come out in spring 2024. Now, there are rumors or leaks about what Combat Pack 2 might include, and that is going to potentially
How
include
did that leak? Leak from who?
Ed Boon himself.
Okay.
I don't know, Dominic.
No. I'm just saying it is from one of those sites that's at
Yeah,
least
I think. Let me see if I can find who.
at least it's not from those Google recommended sites.
It's from one of these AI generated articles. Combat Pack 2.
It's not from a site that say, "Hey, this guy from Reddit said this is what he thinks going to be in the next one."
I mean, hey, sometimes those guys know, Dominic. Sometimes those guys know. Let's see. Xbox news guy and industry leaker Idle Sloth recently tweeted a list of characters that he claimed were from another leaker that has been accurate in his leak so far. So, a trusted source, Idle Sloth. Even this doesn't end up being true. We can speculate a little bit here, Dominic. But so we got Noob Saibot, awesome.
Deep Throat leaked that stuff.
Deep Throat, yes. Kano, Serena, and then Harley Quinn, Deathstroke, and Doomslayer from
Doom?
of course.
Oh,
yes.
man. Deathstroke, Harley Quinn, that sounds cool. Serena, she was she was a Mortal Kombat.
I think she's a previous Mortal Kombat character. She doesn't pop into my head, but I think she's from that era of 3D ones that nobody really cared about too much.
But Noob, I do like Noob Sailbot. I mean, if he plays like how he played in Mortal Kombat 9 or something. And yeah, man, that's a cool thing. I mean, the other one's good. I mean, the one that we definitely know is really good. I'm not a big Takeda fan. He's the Earthquake guy?
He is, I think, did he also do Earthquake things? I think he also had the whip arms.
Oh, so maybe that's not the same guy. I didn't really care for the Earthquake guy. Okay. I mean, the thing is, I think most of the characters, I think it was one character I could not play because I think maybe it was Ermac from last. I was okay with Ermac at 9, but I think I wasn't okay with him either. It was either 10 or 11, whatever.
I don't think he was in 11. I think he was like a story character in 11.
Yeah, he was a story character. Yeah, he never did come. Because it was something like, it was one of these guys. Maybe it wasn't him, but it felt like it was more counter. They were counter. And I don't know how to counter. And so I was like, I can't really do much.
Yeah. Yeah. And in addition to them, during Comic-Con, they also showed off Lai Mei and Tanya. Those are characters also who were like around that 3D Mortal Kombat time before they did the reboot.
Okay. So like no movie stuff happened at Comic-Con, right? Because of the strike?
Not anything that I saw or had any kind of interest in. I know, like, are you talking Mortal Kombat movie, or are you just talking about movie stuff in general?
Oh, movie in general.
Okay, yeah. Like, I just saw yesterday, I think, that, like, the Kraven the Hunter movie is getting pushed back a year, and Beyond the Spider-Verse, the third in that trilogy, is also getting pushed back basically indefinitely. So, and Kraven was supposed to come out, like, September or August of this year, like, very soon.
Yeah, so I'm very confused. I'm thinking like, what? So what didn't y'all do?
Yeah, what wasn't finished? That's what confused me, and it's like we kind of saw that with Morbius, where it's like this movie keeps getting delayed, and like nobody cared about it to begin with, and you're just like further ruining any relevancy that it had. So like, what do you expect from this movie if you're not willing to just release it? Especially like at this time when you need content, right? Because, well, maybe they think in a year they're going to need even more content because this writer strike's going to continue. It's kind of funny that like UPS was also about to go on strike at the end of the month. You know, their union was fighting for raises and things like air conditioning in the vehicles and stuff like that. And it seemed like that was going to be a big deal because, like, holy shit, man, if UPS goes on strike, that's a lot of stuff that doesn't move. Like, that's a lot of logistics that just comes to a halt. But like, here we are with the writer strike and the actors, you know, striking in support of them, and it doesn't feel like there's been any movement there because like the UPS one has been resolved now. So,
well, yeah, and I mean North. I mean, somebody might take offense, but I really don't mean North.
It speaks to the importance of their role.
But no. The most important strike was the UPS one, because I mean, unfortunately for the actors and the writers, I have a whole lot of shows I haven't seen yet. So there's nothing like I'm so glad I'm at the point of my life where I'm not at the point where, darn man, my favorite show ain't gonna come back, or oh man, now my the movie I was looking forward to might not happen, or the idea like the movie they said it was gonna start now might start. Yeah. Like I don't care about that. I'm like, man, I can go back. I can go ahead and watch all those old shows I haven't seen before, or movies, like the Facts of Life.
It's interesting I never seen because Facts the of Life, last the TV time series. they struck, like it almost feels like that's kind of where we were. Like, I don't know about you, but it was kind of like, oh man, I'm not going to have anything to watch for a while. Whereas
you thought like, the last time?
Yeah.
But that's because I was younger and stupid.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's what it felt like at that time. But like now, it feels like, oh yeah, there's just
because I was watching Heroes and shit like that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, I was actually invested in the actual current seasons of shows and things. Now I'm not. So now I'm like, hold out. Y'all can hold out long, like until those directors and stuff do something.
You can hold out until I finish Breaking Bad.
But the thing is, man, I still say you shouldn't have phoned it in. You should have phoned no shit. Shit like not the actors, but the writers. You shouldn't have phoned.
Not the actors, definitely the writers though. You guys have been
I mean,
fucking up.
actors, you act. I mean, I can't. I mean, I'm sure an actor phoned in, but I want to know what movie an actor phoned in and did super great. I don't know. I mean,
Cillian Murphy, like, was just absolutely phoning in Oppenheimer. Like, come on, man.
But like some of the writing stuff and it's still sold. I'm like, see, man, I'm sorry. You let it out. People say like, oh, you need good writers. No, you don't. No, you don't. And you know you don't. That's the thing. You know you don't.
I think that's the problem, right, though, Dominic? That's more we've failed them as fans because we allowed them to get away with garbage. Like, we just kept taking it.
You
like,
did.
yeah, we want more of this. Just
that's
like
why when people say they like certain movies, I'd be like, what the hell, man? It was horrible. That the writing was horrible. I ain't say, like, visually, some things look good, but I was like, in certain movies, but writing's bad. Like, just say they like the Jurassic Park movies or something. The ones that came after World and the ones that came after Jurassic Park. Like they were Jurassic Park. Like they weren't that good. They weren't known to be not that good. And even though I enjoyed Lost World, but it's like, see, but they make money, and then these movies are like, and I blame Frozen too, because I think Frozen was just only good because of the songs. I don't think it was a good script. I don't think it was really a good movie. I just think the songs made it, and they made a shitload of money. And I think Disney knows that. They know, like, we did great with the songs. Like, the writing for the songs were good. The script was adequate. But we make so much money from that damn movie. And it's like, hey, I can get a songwriter. I mean, that's not right. That's not part of Writers Guild. All you do is got to get some good music, get some people to go to the beat and put some simple story out there. And get that moving. Yeah, man. I mean, you shouldn't have phoned it in. And CW, all those shows on CW, all those freaking like you got a whole bunch of Canadian actors, and then you then the scripts are just damn horrible. And see, y'all work your asses off like the first season. Y'all do really good, so get people in there, but then y'all like, now we don't care. Yeah, we got them. We got what we want. Like, all we need is a certain percentage of those people. Not everybody's going to stay, but we got what we can do. We can keep going or something like that. Whatever. Good luck to them. I mean, I don't want them to go away. I mean, I do want, because some of them are good writers, so I do want them to still be around. But those other ones who phoned it in, man, the hell with y'all. How with y'all? And then now I gotta hear people be bragging about, oh, Mario made so much money, and it's a shitty ass movie. I gotta hear that shit. I got people arguing about, well, what's better between Sonic and Mario and shit. Man, get the fuck out of here. They both were horrible. Like, the writings were horrible. That I don't even care which one was better. I mean, I think Sonic was slightly better, but it just like, it could have been so much. It could have been so much better than what it was. Both movies. It's like if you just tried.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn. Like, we could have had just generally good movies. Like, I don't even care to see that shit again.
I'm excited to watch it at some point this week, Dominic.
Yeah, if I had a kid, man, I'll be pissed if they said I want to watch Mario movie like they watch it a billion times. I will be pissed. I might have had break the movie and I mean, well, shit's digital. I would just say you can't watch
break
it.
Break the Xbox.
And they would cry. I'll let them cry it out. I say, I'm sorry.
We're never watching this movie ever.
Sorry, but this is for your own good. This is for the good of humanity. We gotta fight against this.
You're gonna watch Oppenheimer.
yeah. Watch some good stories. Oppenheimer, 7. You watch those. God, I'll be pissed. And the Sonic movie too, something like that. Even though, yeah, it was all right. I'll be pissed that I gotta see that shit again, though. I was like, oh, hell no. I'll say, man. All right, so.
All right, Dominic.
Let's get out. What we got now?
Just real quick, I haven't really been mentioning them for the past couple of months because the Games for Gold stuff has just been so awful. But this is the final time.
And Daniel, before you say it, I was so hoping like the final one, they're gonna have something big. Like they were gonna do something like have a big game that probably came out some recent time, like maybe a few years.
They don't have anything big, Dominic. That's on Game Pass.
No, but I'm talking about third party because that's what PlayStation. Yeah. I mean, that's what they used to do. And PlayStation does that all the time. So I was thinking
put that stuff on Game Pass.
Yeah, I was thinking like, oh, they're gonna have like a nice third party game here, at least something I'll be interested in because this is the last one. I say, okay, let's see. Yeah, I was hoping. Yeah, I was hoping for something, and then I'll say the games.
All right, you got Blue Fire and Inertial Drift.
I ain't never fucking heard these games in my life.
I think I have heard of Blue Fire, but I don't know that. I don't know anything about it. I think I have heard of that before, but yeah, it's as I saw one article be headlined, Xbox Games for Gold ends with a whimper. Oh yeah,
that's such an easy headline. I bet it's got to be like a few of those, and somebody saying, "Damn, I can't use it."
And then a couple AIs were just like, "Yeah, we're still gonna use it."
Yeah, I mean, good God, I was like, "Damn, I ain't never heard these games." They really just said, "Fuck it." Like they's going away. Game Pass now, baby. It's like, and we ain't be leaving on a high note. We just gonna here's these games be found in the bowels of like the game industry.
The Walmart value bin of DVDs. They just found these games at the bottom. That's mean, but also kind of funny.
Like you couldn't just give something. You could just do like you could have. Come on, man. You could have paid something like some company to give like a big game like that came out with some years past and say like, hey, now you have this game and for free. I mean, damn. Oh well. Yeah. All right. So what PlayStation Plus got?
PlayStation Plus has Dreams, which is basically a dead game. That's kind of interesting.
I guess the servers are still up where you can download people's stuff, right? So I guess that's good.
Yeah, you can still play some stuff on there.
I mean, it was a great concept thing, but that game should probably just always been free. I mean, like that should have just been a thing, and
it really should have. Because, like, if you're trying to basically motivate people to make content for a thing, Unity and Unreal Engine are free. So, like, if you just want to make video games, like you can really just do that elsewhere nowadays.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I get it. Like, it's kind of cool that I could kind of make a game or make concepts of games on my PlayStation, but yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't really make a lot of sense conceptually. So there's that. There's Death's Door, which I think is fantastic. So absolutely check that out.
That is great.
PlayStation Plus.
Okay.
And PGA Tour 2K23. So
yeah, something like that. See, Xbox could get something like that. I mean, yeah, PGA. At least I can try out the golf now and everything and see how it is. And that's the one with Michael Jordan. And now, even though I think I probably still have to pay for him, I don't think he was in the basic one. But
can I at least get Steph Curry in the basic one?
But at least, hey, you can pay for that and not have to pay for the whole game. So I guess that'll be cheaper. But yeah, man. Like you couldn't just get like just a sports game, a 2K3. I mean, or like Dead Island 2 or something, man.
That would have been crazy, yeah. Nope. They don't want that down.
What's been out? Or the game before that, Dying Light, which been out for a while. The base version of Dying Light.
That has been out,
You can buy the DLC or something like that.
That would have actually been really perfect if they had done that. But they got to make that deal for Game Pass, Dominic. They can't do that. All right, Dominic, so now we'll get into the new releases. First up, we've got The Expanse, a Telltale series, Episode 1, out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox.
I didn't expect that, it'll be episodic. I mean, it'll be episodic, but all at once. I didn't think they were going to be putting out piecemeal again.
Yeah. You would have thought they learned their lesson, Dom.
I mean, that other one, the one that had some Telltale employees worked on, the Star Trek one is all. I think it's all in one. Yeah, it's all one. I mean, like one series or something like that.
Dropped at one time. Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of but I was glad to know that it's out. So I do want to try it. I mean, the series, the expansion is pretty good, and this is supposed to be like a prequel, I believe. So yeah, I definitely want to try this out. And the character you play as was in the series.
Yeah, definitely. All right, next up, Dominic, Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons. That's now out on basically everything.
Yeah, the one that's the old school look, but I know you weren't a big fan of the look. I mean, I'm not that big a fan either. But you say, do you see any reviews for it?
Not yet. Let me see if I can pull something up here.
And is it just local co-op?
I think it is one of those that's just.
But you know what? I don't give a shit. It could be the best game ever. It's
got a 64 currently on the Switch version. I think this is the Switch version I'm looking at.
It runs horrible on the Switch.
Oh, a lot of 70s on the Jimquisition 30. So.
Man. I wonder what he didn't like. Or she didn't. Or they didn't like.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 out of 10 there. So that is.
Well, it's one of them.
Yeah. Oh no, I was saying the review was a 3, not that you had 3 different ones. No, you got to the right place, Dominic. Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Koa and the 5 Pirates of Mara. Now, this is a game that I played the demo for during one of the summer Steam things, and I thought seemed really kind of cool.
It was like a demo. You said it's a demo. You played?
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how this game actually turned out. It is. Let's see,
what do you do?
On the Switch. It's basically just like a 3D action game. You play as a little girl running around, kind of a tropical island. Collecting stuff.
Oh, that's right. I remember you talking about it. Yes.
Yeah. It's $20, and right now on the Switch it's $16.99 on sale. So that might be worth checking out. I don't know about the Switch version just because I'm apprehensive about buying things on the Switch nowadays because even the indie titles struggle a little bit too much on that system. But might check that out. All right, next up, Remnant 2 is out on the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series family of consoles. That's doing pretty well from what I've seen.
Yeah, the reviews, I've seen it too, yeah. I kind of makes me want to play it because I didn't realize it was a shooter, but I guess it's but if it can run on my PC and they do have cheats, I think I'll be okay.
There you go. All right, next up, Disney Illusion Island. That's now on the Nintendo Switch, and I think from the reviews I've only seen a couple, but Game Informer gave it a pretty solid score. That might be a game that I end up checking out because it's not a full price game either. Right now, it's just exclusive to the Switch, though. So I expect that runs pretty decently since it is kind of made for Switch, but it's a $40 game. And, it reminds me of the style of the Rayman games once they switched back to the 2D and we're kind of doing the thing with the multiplayer stuff. So I might check that out.
Oh, so it's like the Rayman kind of multiplayer 2D?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess Mario, Super Mario,
unfortunately.
New Super Mario Brothers.
That's true. New Super Mario's does that too.
So then I guess it's also not online then because
correct. It is local only. I might check this out depending on how what I see video wise because it feels like a game that my daughter could play and she is into Mickey and Minnie and all of them and she actually likes kind of the newer art style ones too, which I think. I'm kind of in between on. Some of them are a little too Ren and
but she hasn't seen the older ones yet, so right? So
she doesn't know the classics.
Yeah.
She only knows that CG monstrosity. But I've also heard like the assists in it. Like it's not Mario where like you jump on somebody else's head and it messes your whole game up. It's like, oh, if you can get to a place, then you can like drop a rope for somebody else to get over there too if they're struggling to get through it. So that seems pretty cool. And then we have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Dominic, it's finally out on the PC. These Sony franchises are just, they're running away from the PlayStation, Dominic.
Yeah, they are.
Where the real gamers are.
Now this game has been a lot of talk about it recently because of what was said by one of the developers or something had said. And people are both arguing for and against, like, about the quality of the game. Like, okay, basically, we were given an impression, Sony, that this game could only run on the PS5's SSD or something like that because of the going through different dimensions and things that they said it could not be played on the PS4. Now, what we see is this, like, yes, it probably couldn't play on the PS4, but not on but thing is, it was tested by Digital Foundry on the original PS4, not the newer versions that have a harder, that has a faster hard drive. I think it was like 5,400 RPM. And the new one says it's 7,500. Is it 7,500?
7,200.
72. Okay. So I didn't. So it wasn't. So now you have people arguing like, oh, I can't play on the PS4. They say they're still alright. You still can't play the original PS4. So you can't make a game that basically people are saying like, but you have to make the game to be able to run on both though. You can't just make it just run on that one, and that's true. That's totally true. I agree. It's like, yeah. So it doesn't matter that that's the fast hard drive or you have the Pro or whatever, because they'll have to, if there's going to be on that system, it has to work on all the systems that's been out for the PS4. But thing is, they also people make it like you need an SSD to play it. You don't. You just need a certain type of hard drive, what you said, like 7200, and then you need and you just need other specs. The specs to just run it. Like you don't like it could have been on the Xbox. Because some people now, because there was an argument even that's because of this other thing, like whose SSD's faster or whatever. It's like whatever. But yeah, and the thing is, here's what I want to say is this, like because like now people are seeing it run a hard drive, but it doesn't run as good on SSD. So then people are arguing that, but why would you want to play it like that? And it's like, because I don't have the SSD. What the hell? If I had an SSD, I would play it on SSD. Like I don't get it. Yes, I get what you're saying, but if I don't have SSD, I'm gonna. That's the way people want to play it. If they don't have an SSD, or maybe they don't have enough space, or whatever. But then it said like it's basically unplayable. I was like, it was only unplayable on the 400, whatever it is. That was the only one that's unplayable. You can play it on that one, and even the guy from Digital Foundry even says that. And it said, but it doesn't play as well as the PS5. No, it was, and that's the thing. It's like, but for me personally, I was never like an argument of like, oh, it will play just as well on last gen.
Yeah.
I was just saying was like, because I was questioning because we played now what we thought. I remember when we first talked about it, because we were saying like, oh, I probably couldn't play last gen because of the dimensional stuff and how it's just so seamless. It probably could. It probably couldn't. And like, but then as time went on, when I started talking to you about, man, these other games can be played on PS4 that I thought was just going to be exclusive to PS5. Yeah. And like, is Ratchet & Clank like the only one that can or something? And I guess technically yes, but I think also no at the same time. I just think if they were to optimize it, if they were to work on it, it could have worked down. Like they could have, it's just been downgraded, but it would have worked. You know, it would have still worked on last gen. Yeah. It just wouldn't look as good. And that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking to people. Like, are people just thinking like, oh, they couldn't never do this game on the last gen? I said, I don't think so. Because I just think the dimensional stuff. For me personally, I think them stuff still could have happened. It just, you had to optimize it in a way that it to do it. And yes, it will be more work, but what the fuck? That's your job. That's what people do. That's what people do with PCs. Like, for it to be able to play at certain on certain things. That's how I'm able to play a lot of these games on freaking 970. Because some of these games are optimized so well that I can still play it with my minimum specs here. Right. And so that's the thing with Ratchet and Clank is, yeah, I think it's just that they didn't bother, and that's fine. But now it's not looking like it's still a cool looking game. It's just not the end all be like this is the this ain't the thing that says like this is the next generation. Here it is. It's not.
I just don't know that we know what that's even going to be.
And that's the thing. That's what I was getting at. Is that that's why I always felt like this generation was just an upgrade. Yeah. It's not. It doesn't feel like what we've seen before. It's like, and it seems like the later we get in as years go on with the consoles, it seems like that's the way it's become. Because even the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, it wasn't as big as leap. Well, we obviously know that because they had the freaking mid upgrades. It wasn't a biggest leap as from 360 from Xbox or PS2 to PS3. GameCube. No, that's different. It's Wii. The Wii was the same shit. It does the same type of graphics. It wasn't as, I guess, the Wii U. It's just that we haven't. It's just like it's not a biggest upgrade. But what were you going to say?
The thing that's kind of funny about it is like, they were basically saying, it can't run on that. But I feel like it's not so much like the developers to blame for that. Like, it's very much like Sony.
Yeah.
Because, like, the crazy thing, and I don't know if I ever ended up actually bringing it up when we were talking about, like, the fidelity of games and, like, where these systems were, but, like, the popularity of the Steam Deck. And this game seems to be running pretty well on the Steam Deck. So, yeah, you're telling me that they couldn't make this run on a PS4. Meanwhile, you have this portable console that you can get it running, relatively flawlessly on. Like,
it's just
a Sony decision to not give them the money to let them make a PS4 version.
Yeah. So and that's what it comes to. Is like, these games are different and like OGen, like, this is not like the days of PS2 and from PlayStation to PS2 or PS2 to PS3 where it's like, man, this game could never be on this system. Like, you have to change a shitload of stuff, and it wouldn't be the same game. Like, we haven't either got to that point, or I don't know if we are, honestly, because of those fucking rumor about PlayStation having a mid console coming out, and I'm thinking like, damn, man, did you even take advantage of the one you got?
So I think there's some interesting stuff to visit there. I had a news bit about how they're dropping the prices in the UK, but and other territories, but not in the United States at this point, that we skipped over. But there's been rumors that they're gonna do.
I lost you a bit, but go ahead. Yeah, cut out a bit.
So there's rumors that they're gonna do a refresh, but from what I'm seeing, like the more recent stuff about them coming out with a new console, it doesn't necessarily sound like it's gonna be more powerful necessarily. It seems like they're just gonna drop the disk drive and offer an external one, which I think we've talked about, kind of rumors of that at some point. The Pro one, all the rumors I've seen is that it's going to be, at least a year from now before we see that. But yeah, I'm right there with you. Is like, what are we getting? I mean, the unfortunate thing is, yeah, they're not taking advantage of the hardware that they got. In fact, it feels like, and I don't want to say like lazy developers, but like it feels like they don't feel like they need to do the work to have it both run in fidelity mode at a high frame rate, right? Like, because they've normalized the option with the previous Pro consoles of like, oh, you can either do the high frame rate or you can do the high fidelity. Like, they don't strive to give you both anymore. And that's what it feels like the breakdown is now. Is like, yeah, it's like we could have new systems where it's like, oh yeah, I'm impressed by the visual fidelity and the smoothness of this, but instead they're always going to prioritize one over the other, and usually it's fidelity. So then you get the bump down version that will run at 60 frames per second, but it's toned down graphically, as opposed to getting those insane graphics and also that frame rate at the same time.
Yeah. So it really, I mean, I see people arguing online on both, and some people who are just not believing that they say, I just couldn't run. Like Sony didn't lie, and then people saying they did lie, and then people argue that, no, the argument was that it wouldn't play well. But that's like that. Come on, man. I ain't never heard nobody say that. I just heard it say can't play.
But also, I mean, like, what are we saying? Play well? Like, you can have a degraded experience, but also still have a game that is fully functional. Like, God of War, for instance. God of War Ragnarok on the PlayStation 4 is obviously not as good of an experience as the PS5 version. But is it a bad experience? No.
And I think that's what people are trying to convince themselves of. Like, they're trying to convince themselves that, oh, you gonna play on a hard disk drive, and like that little, because when the guy was playing, he said, I'm playing this on a hard disk. Like, he said, because he wanted to show a video
platter
and play it, and then like it looked playable, but somebody said, oh, but somebody said, oh, but go to that level when it got to go to a whole bunch of dimensions, and he said, I haven't gotten that far yet, because people were trying to say like, oh, it wouldn't work, but I think it would. Like I said, his hard drive wasn't the 50 something, whatever, but the thing is, I'm like, yeah, okay, so what? Like, okay, when they go to dimensions, it's a pause because it's loading.
It's a longer loading time.
Yeah,
we're used to loading times.
It just doesn't make the game terrible. Like,
unplayable, Dominic. Loading time, unplayable.
Yeah, these people are talking like it's trash, and I'm saying like, yeah, but why would you play like that? I say, well, if I don't have a SSD to do it, to play that, I will have to. That's why. But I just want to know it's playable. See, and that's the thing. If I would just listen to you or the people who said that, the way y'all describe it is that I couldn't even play the game. Like, it would just crash. But now I'm seeing it run. I'm like, I got a chance. I can play this. I mean, realistic. No, I don't have a chance. But if I had like just a better system than mine, but still lower, and all I had was a hard disk drive. Like, I just had a hard disk drive, or I had a small SSD where I couldn't really do anything but my operating system, I would be like, now I would know, like, oh, I can still try this game out. Now, these people telling me like it's gonna crash, and but when I had to go, if I don't listen to y'all, if I listen to y'all, I would think like, yeah, I couldn't play it, but that's not true at all. So I'm like, And then that's when it gets back to the PS4, and that's it. Like now, yes, it couldn't run at the current state of the game. It could not run on a PS4. But you don't think they would fix it that way so it could run on a PS4?
Yeah.
Like, you don't think they're capable of doing that? You think this is it's an impossibility that they can make it work on the PS4? Because thing is, you don't really, because PCs are different. Like, you can when you downgrade, you still can somewhat play a game, but it'll just be a whole lot worse. And then like we've seen, it'll crash when it gets to something because it'll be freaking bottlenecked or whatever. Like, that consoles don't work that way. You can't just put the disc in the console and it'll do something. Like, they would literally have to work it so it can work with it. So I think they could. I think they could make that game go. It seemed apparently seamless, and just like somebody said,
yeah, no doubt about that.
You can do it. You can trick it, people to seem like you're doing it by having by doing something different, like doing something different with it, if you really want it to look that way. Because, like somebody said, you don't do, like somebody was telling me, saying on Twitter, that listen, for people who don't know the game, you don't just do a dimensional drift all the time. That's not you don't go through it all the time. So
right.
To say that you couldn't play the game because you would do this all the time, because there'll be too much, that's not true. It says there's only one stage that does that. And one dude said, yeah, because I was disappointed when I got the impression that was just something you just do all the time. Like, you just keep switching from dimensions. But it's not a thing. I mean, he said that's not what this game is. So that's another thing. So I'm like, oh, y'all people. And I do like what one guy said. He said, a lot of y'all people are capping for a game. And for the people who know capping, that means lying in slang. I learned that.
Yeah.
Say all the people capping for this game, y'all ain't buy it because this shit did not sell compared to any other game on the PlayStation. It has one of the lowest attach rates. It was a launch game,
which is wild. That kind of sucks.
It does suck because Ratchet & Clank always seems to have that happen to him. The attach, not that it's a launch game, but this is attach rate compared to consoles. It doesn't sell like some other games, even though I feel like they were great games. So yeah, and I'm he's right. None of y'all bought. Yeah, I'm surprised. I know I'm not surprised. It's the internet. Y'all really make it a big deal, and y'all haven't even played it. Because if you probably played it, you probably would have seen they probably could have worked something out to put this on last gen systems. I'm sorry. I was telling a friend of mine, I said, man, this next gen ain't really next gen. This ain't the same. It's just not the same. And it's almost for the me of today, I'm kind of happy because it makes it so that I don't really feel like I'm missing out.
Right.
That's really the selfish reason. Is feel like I'm really missing out. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, I think this whole conversation just speaks to what we were talking about kind of last week is the production value and what these consoles have provided. Is the only gain from these new consoles potentially easier development for bigger games? What as players do we actually benefit from these games? Is it that as such it's easier to develop them and therefore they can come out quicker, or they can come out at a higher level of quality? It doesn't necessarily seem that second point. So it's really hard to look at the way we've seen these consoles be sold to us as customers and not really take that with a grain of salt, right? And not really, go oh yeah, this is all kind of bullshit. It's in the past, obviously we've seen every product, right? Obviously people are trying to sell you a product, but at least in the earlier generations that we dealt with at the ages that we are, we saw very provable upgrades between the consoles, and now we're at a point where it really feels like it's kind of leveling off. And yeah, it's like having, a mid-range PC versus a high PC. And it's like, if I'm a person that was never buying the high-end PC anyway, was never getting the 3090s, was always looking at like the 3070s or what have you, if we're looking at like modern day parlance of cards. Like, what am I actually seeing out of these consoles now that I wouldn't have seen on, a step down version of this console, which kind of you have with the PS4 and I mean, especially like I always forget about the Pros because you and I both just had base level systems for each of them. So like there is even that step up that I didn't even experience. So it's like, when you have a PS4 Pro versus a PS5, is that basically the equivalent of me having a 3070 versus a 3090? Like, why would I care? And the fact that the architecture for those consoles and these current consoles are so similar, because we've gotten to the point where it's not like custom cell processors. We're just dealing with not quite off the shelf, but similar to their off the shelf brethren's AMD chips for everything. It's almost like, why am I having to do this? Why are we splitting these things in the way that we are? And that's why I appreciate the way that Microsoft has kind of handled this. They've kind of made it, and obviously there are games now that are only exclusive to the new generation consoles, and it kind of, lessens the impact of it. But for a very long time now, they had made it so if I could play that game on the Xbox Series consoles, I could also play it on my base level Xbox. And was it the best way to play that game? Probably not. But could I still do it? And it be playable, not just saying I can do it, watch this slideshow of whatever this game, watch Halo be a slideshow on my Xbox, but like make it a game that I could still play and enjoy. So it really makes me wonder if we could just move in that direction, like where it's like, okay, these consoles, like, okay, I've got the PS5, but now the PS6 is out, but all these games are still compatible with that. It's forward and backwards compatible.
And that's what I want Sony to do, because at least with the Xbox initially, it made it easy for you to upgrade, because it's like you could take everything, which all your games work with this.
Right.
Like all your games work and you just play them. Well, Sony, it gave you that program, but let's just say that program wasn't there. Could I put my disc? I couldn't put my disc in a PS5, right? And just play Shadow. What's the first game that came on PS4? What was it called? The Killzone Shadow, whatever it's called. Oh
yeah, Shadowfall.
Yeah,
something like that.
Like I couldn't put that in. Like I couldn't just start and play that, and like because they try, and there are some people like because it wasn't just simple backwards compatibility. Because remember, for the longest they wouldn't say nothing about it.
Yeah.
But Microsoft came out and said it, and some people were arguing that. Say, well, it doesn't need to be backwards compatible because it's a whole new gen. I just want them to focus on a new gen, and I think they kind of said that too. But guess
Sony
what?
was absolutely saying it. They were saying, we want there to be like a distinct split between our previous generation and this generation, and then as it turns out, they ended up backtracking on that because they ended up releasing, some of their
the games we
titles.
gotten is like. It's not really a split. It's like these games, most of these games can be played on your next gen, and most of them are. That's the thing. Most of them are. It's probably it's probably a small percentage of games that's exclusive, just a PS5, that can't be played. I'm talking about overall, like all companies, because I be seeing games like Street Fighter That could be played on That could be PS4. It can't be played on Xbox One. Because
for contractual reasons.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Even though based on Twitter is that no, the Xbox One can't handle it. That's what Twitter told me. So, well, X told me. I forgot. Twitter is called X now. I don't know. I'm very confused on that. But yeah. So yeah, I see a lot of games that are like that, like third party. Because I was looking, it's like, oh, that's still on PS4. Because I'm on Xbox more. So when I was looking in the PS4 catalog, I was like, oh my god, these games. I thought they was exclusive to the next gen. I said, oh, they're just not on the Xbox One, but they're still on last gen. And I'm like, we didn't. Yeah, This didn't feel like you really went to a new generation. It was just a mid, almost like a the mid upgrades, basically, of like, this is the mid upgrade between the PS4 Pro and, well, there's no between. This is the next upgrade from the PS4 Pro. Is like, that's what it feels like. And actually, I'm since it is like that, which, okay, it be that way. This make it easier. I wish it would have made it so I can just play all my PS4 games up there and everything's just up there, like easily. I mean, now I think at this point now most of the big games are, but I don't think all the third party are. I'm not sure on that. I mean, because Sony never really gave us a clear indication of everything like Microsoft did, of what can be played or what can't be. And I think they actually did have what can't be played when it first came out. What Sony exclusive games couldn't be played. I think they did have that. It probably Killzone was probably up there. I don't know. Because I do remember seeing that list out there. But yeah. Anything else? Oh, Daniel, I do not hear you.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh.
I had my mic turned off for a second because I sneezed. No, that's it for me.
All right, so I guess we can close it out.
All right, thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on what I guess is, as you mentioned, X at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. Podcast is at Superpod. You can check us out there. Also on the website, superpod.com, SUPAPOD. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and any other place you may find your audio podcasts. And until next time, guys, we'll talk to you later.
All right, see you.